Welcome to another tutorial. This is the referee page. When you open it by default, you'll get this grid of referees, and if you just click on one, so we can click on Cesar here, an American referee who has reffed 109 games. This is his combined form, and what this is, we take the sort of last 6 to 9 months of data and we combine the form for the referee so that you get a more of an overview, because there's some referees, when I first launched this page, there was no combined form. And if you click on this list, you can see referees get around. There's some referees in the world that they'll be reffing in Turkey one week, and then they'll be reffing somewhere else next week. There's refs that jump between different leagues. I mean, it even happens in England within the domestic leagues. But you can see here, this referee has reffed in the Pro League, Liga MX, CONCACAF, World Cup, fair play, Portugal, Switzerland, Belgium, Morocco, and if you just switch to combined here, this list will update, and we can see that he is producing cards there, 6, 8, 3, 4, 2 red cards in those games as well. If we go back to the stats, and we're now looking at his Liga MX record, he's refereed 25 games, 4.68 cards per game, 14 red cards in 25 games. That is what you like to see, isn't it? That is, well, what an advert for Liga MX, I guess. 2.08 first half cards on average. That's high for a referee, for a league, football in general. You see more cards in the second half, which is still true for this referee, but that's just a very high average for the first half. 3.32 second half cards he produces. Home cards, 2.43 on average for the away team. He's booked both teams in 22 out of 25. So this is just nice and easy stats, really. There's nothing too fancy about it. It just displays the data that you might need, and it's grouped by half, it's grouped by overs and unders, and then you can just go in and see his recent fixtures. He might have been blanking a few times. You know, his average might be bumped up by a game where it got abandoned because there was a mass brawl or something. You just don't know until you check out the fixtures tab. So it's also important to just check that out. There's a filters tab as well. So the duration that this looks for, because there's a lot of referees, so you might want to narrow it down a bit, but you can choose next 5 days, next 72 hours, next 48 hours, and by default it'll show you the next 24 hours worth of games. You can sort by a certain stat, but you can also do that on the left side. So if you wanted to scroll across and see some of the data, we can look at first half cards per game, and if you click it, it'll sort by ascending. Click it again, descending, so there's a referee in Turkey. And in fact, there's a few referees playing soon, officiating soon, that have a higher number than the referee we were just looking at. So you can see actually his combined form is 1.54, so his averages are being propped up by the Liga MX record. But that doesn't mean you should discount him in any sort of research, because context is important. Is he refereeing a World Cup game, or is he refereeing a Liga MX game? Because as you see, the competitions are different. The competitiveness of the competition is different. The referees have been given specific instructions in certain competitions as well, especially big competitions like the World Cup. Referees are given very specific instructions, because there's referees coming from all different places. They need a kind of unified approach to make sure games are kind of consistent and consistently fair within a competition, as important as the World Cup. If you see a referee you like, just hit this Get Alerts button, and when James is added to a new fixture, so he's been appointed to the referee Blackpool versus Cardiff or whatever, you'll get a notification that says, James Oldham, just been appointed to this game, do you want to check it out? And that's really good when you find referees that are consistent in some ways that match your betting strategies. It is what it is. It does what it says on the tin. It's referee stats. It's simple. Everything sort of works within the same page. It's just football data brought to you in a nice way, and that's sort of what OddAlerts is all about. If you've got any feedback for this page, please let me know. And as always, enjoy.